welcome to What King? Okay, I'm going to read a little phrase here, and it says, choose the word ending in king that best describes the following kings, okay? So number 1, a diligent king is always, is he lurking, working, or talking? A diligent king is always lurking, working, or talking. And of course, a diligent king is always working. Okay, a coughing king is always blinking, gawking, or hacking. Okay, and obviously a coughing king is probably hacking. Okay, a studious king is always winking, thinking, or speaking. A studious king is always winking, thinking, or speaking. And of course, it's thinking. A witty king is always either smoking, choking, or joking. And have you thought of as many words that end in the letter in the word king? I have not. This is a first for me. Okay, a witty king is always smoking, choking, or joking. And of course, it's joking. A thirsty king is always knocking, drinking, or shaking. And of course, the answer is drinking. A pacing king is always what? What do you think a pacing king is always doing? Is he slinking, basking, or walking? And of course, a pacing king is walking. A traveling king is always shaking, shrinking, or packing. Okay, a traveling king is always packing. Okay, an articulate king is always knocking, speaking, or winking. An articulate king is always knocking, speaking, or winking. And the answer is speaking. A hungry king. What is a hungry king always doing? Okay, a hungry king is always shrinking, cooking, or winking. Shrinking, cooking, or winking. Okay, a hungry king is always cooking. A lazy king is always shirking, walking, or mocking. A lazy king, is he shirking, walking, or mocking? And of course, a lazy king is shirking his duties. Okay, a teasing king is always basking, looking, or winking. A teasing king is always basking, looking, or winking. Sorry, winking. Okay, of course, a teasing king is always winking. A fraudulent king is always blinking, knocking, or faking. A fraudulent king is always blinking, knocking, or faking. And of course, a fraudulent king is always faking. A searching king is always jerking, seeing, or biking. So, is a searching king, is he jerking, seeing, or biking? He is seeing. An obstinate king is always balking, peeking, or shaking. Okay, an obstinate king is balking, peeking, or shaking. And the answer is balking if he's obstinate. Okay, a curious king is always talking, faking, or asking. Would a curious king talk? It'd be talking, faking, or asking. And of course, a curious king would be asking. A clumsy king is always hacking, breaking, or poking. Would a clumsy king be hacking, breaking, or poking? And he's breaking if he's clumsy. A muddy king is always slinking, thinking, or tracking. A muddy king is always slinking, thinking, or tracking. Okay, and a muddy king would be tracking that mud everywhere, all over the palace. Okay, so what king are you? Earlier I was a coughing king, and sometimes I'm a hungry king, and I'm a curious king, and sometimes a lazy king. So anyway, well, listen, you have a good day. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you the next time.